Evening guys, I'm going to do a wee, I'll put the head torch off. I'm going to do a wee video about kit. So I'm going to start doing wee videos and I'm going to talk to you about the basics. The basics that I use, the basics that get me by. The reason being is because it's night time, by the way, and there's nobody around me. I'm middle of nowhere. I'm in kind of between Torridon and Wester Ross. Well, kind of same place, but anyway, that's where I am. Exact location withheld. So kit, I'm just going to go over some basics. Day kind of 2-day kit. Everyday stuff that I use that I don't go out without. It's the same kit all the time. I don't chop and change. I don't want to jump to the next best thing, and you know, I don't always go for the most expensive and the branded, and you know, I go for what works and what's practical. And I probably, out with footwear and a couple of bits and bobs, I no longer spend insane money and stuff. I just don't, because it's not really required, and I'm going to try and do a lot of things within everybody's budget in order to get everybody motivated, get them out and get them fit and get this back in order after all the horrible recent times and things that's been going on. So we'll not talk about that, we'll not digress, we'll stick to the kit list. So basically, this is a kind of, you know, 20 odd litre backpack. See, I think it's about a 25 or a 30, it's quite small. It wasn't expensive, it was about 50 bucks from Decathlon. It fits lovely in the back. It's got a kind of air cooling system. It's a really decent bag, really well made. They guarantee everything. Their down jackets are the same, they're really hard to beat for quality. And I'll be honest with you, I've got low alpine bags at 200 quid and all the rest of it. I've had that all over Scotland. It's hard to beat. Little basic whistle there, you know, with a little thermometer on it as well. It's got a little compass in the back. I think it was about 3 or 4 quid. You know, basic, and it could, one day you might need it. So I've got a coffee here, so just let me get a wee sip. I've been on the go all day. It's a beautiful night. There was a little bit of aurora borealis earlier. Now I've got stars. I can see bits of the Milky Way. It's an incredible night. The phone won't pick it up, which is a shame. So basically I'll start with what I consider to be the most important part of your itinerary, and that is boots. Okay, boots. We'll start at the bottom. These are Salwa. Vibram soles. They're crampon compatible. They're Gore-Tex. They're probably around £270. Good boots start from about 100 quid upwards. These are really top quality. They're all rubber armoured. They've got a fantastic lacing system. They're socked all the way up, so you've got loads of protection. They're very stiff. Everybody's got different feet, so I'm not going to... Don't text me or ask me, Alex, what kind of boots should I buy? The reason being is this: there are no 2 feet the same. I've got kind of wide feet, but I've not got big feet. I've got kind of thinner ankles. I would say I've got a moderately kind of high arch. So you might have fallen arches, you might have low arches. You could have one slightly different from the other. So go into Tissot, for instance, and get a good member of staff and say, listen, I'm new to this, I need to get it right. Pick 10 pairs of boots, try them all on. Try them on with a thin sock, try them on with a thicker sock. Walk over to the little climbing steps and see what it's like. Lace them up correctly, take your time. If it takes you 2 hours, do it. It's imperative you get the boots right. You will never have a good day in the mountains if you don't have the correct boots. That's a fact. There's no way around that. So getting it wrong, rushing, grabbing any old boots, borrowing boots, too small, too big, too wide, too narrow, you're only going to break your feet and you're only going to break your wool, and you will very quickly want to go home, and that'll be that. So boots, now I'm breaking them in the process. My handwags were 10 years old, my Bergos boots before them were probably the same. I've had Scarpas, I've had all sorts of boots, and there's great boots in the market, there's no excuse. Just don't rush into it, guys, that's all I can say. Get that right and everything else will fall into place. I like a stiff boot. They're crampon compatible. For those of you that don't know, these are crampons. You know, these are kind of Gravel, kind of Tissot. They're about 100 quid. And these are basically for walking on snow and ice, and I'm not a massive fan of crampons, but they're absolutely necessary when the conditions dictate. Why skate all over the top of a mountain when you can wear something as simple as that and, you know, stomp right up there and have grip like a mountain goat? And that's what they're for. And you just don't want to go into an environment unprepared, because you'll just injure yourself. You'll break your wrist, you'll fall, you know, dislocating your collarbone or snapping a wrist, or doing a knee or a cruciate ligament up 1,000 metres up in a mountain could kill you. That's the bottom line of that. So get it right and, you know, go prepared. Not everybody needs them. The location you go to will dictate. So that's the boots. The boots are important. Now, what is every bit as important as what goes on inside the boot? This is the holy grail. This is 25 years in the learning. So guys, this is a Bridgedale sock liner, and they are incredibly well made. They're about 17 quid for 2 pairs. It's a Bergos Cool Max, more of a kind of summer sock, 2-3 season. I love them in the winter. They fit so well. The stitching's absolutely immaculate. It's so pernickety. They're so well constructed. They'll last for years, literally years. I mean that. I've got pairs of Bridgedale socks that are 10 years old, and when I was in the military, when I was in the Royal Marines, these were the socks that I wore, and these were the socks I told everybody else to buy. And they saved my feet from blisters and hot spots and all sorts of nastiness. Incredible bits of kit, money well spent, never ever scrimping socks. That's the liner layer, and I swear by a liner layer. Some guys don't, they just want one pair. I love a liner because my boots fit so correctly that I don't have friction. I don't have the slide between the socks. A lot of people will say that happens. It doesn't happen if your boots are correctly fitted. And not everybody knows how to fit a boot. And that's another story. The outer layer is every bit as important as the inner layer, and this is a smart wool merino outer sock, okay? Size 6 to 8 is a medium, and they're so well made. Again, the stitching's pernickety. It's absolutely perfect. They're 23 quid a pair. You could buy one pair and wear them for 10 days and they won't smell. They're merino, it's a natural fibres, it's natural wools. And they're really, really top quality. And when I say you can wear them for weeks, you literally can wear them for weeks. I can wear a merino base layer against my skin for a week and I don't smell. It wicks the sweat from you. It almost kind of regulates your body temperature. And same with your feet. You know, a massive amount of water and moisture is lost from your feet. A lot of people don't realise that. So feet have to be taken care of. That's the most important part of being outside for extended periods of time. Having endurance days where you're doing long miles, when you're at altitude, your feet will get you home. Nothing else will. Your feet will. Take care of them. Get your socks right, get your boots right, and you'll never have a bad day in the hills. There you go. So that's merino outer socks. It's Bridgedale liners. There are other liners in the market. There are other merino socks in the market. Have a good look. and you know, try them on and get it right and look after them, and they'll last for years because they're so well constructed. So don't look at it that, oh, I've just spent 50 quid on 2 pairs of socks. You've spent 50 quid in absolute comfort and absolute the maintenance of your feet long term. So that's the socks, guys. The boots and the socks, really, really important to get it right. Now, while I'm talking about merino, this is from Decathlon. It's under their 4-Class brand. This is a pair of merino boxers, okay? I wear them because no smell. I wear them for days in the hills. I clean, baby wipes, stuff like that. I always clean my groin area. It's important, twice a day. Keep it dry as well. If I need to use a little bit of talc or that, I'll do that, especially at night in a sleeping bag. And merino boxers, and on the outside of the merino boxers, I use my Under Armours over the top of them. Okay, that keeps you in, keeps your jewels protected, and it keeps everything clean. Stops friction burns, stops hot spots around the groin. You don't want sores and redness, and you just don't want that. So again, getting the gear right is important. So that's kind of that. That's the backpack. That's the crampons, the boots, the socks, and the boxers. Now this is just a basic kit list. You know, the stuff I use every day. It's the stuff I use all the time. Nothing's ever going to change. I'll never use different boxers or pants, or, you know, that's what I use. Those socks are what I use. Tried and tested, 25 years. Through my time in the Royal Marines, you know, doing 30 milers, 20 milers, with heavy kit in horrible environments like Dartmoor. That is the kit I wore then. It's the kit I wear today. It's never failed me. And that's my guarantee. That's all I need to know. Now, my hands, I've had a lot of breaks over the years, and I suffer from really cold hands and really cold feet. Now these are a cheap mitt. Again, it's the Wednesday brand, which is Decathlon. They've got the elastic, and they've got a little bit for, you know, clipping them on or clipping your compass on. And why do I choose mitts over gloves? The reason being is because in a glove, your fingers are separated, and they take so much longer to heat up. When they're in a mitt, they're skin to skin, minus the thumb, and they heat up so much quicker. And I absolutely can verify that. That's fact, 100%. I actually struggle to wonder why people wear gloves outside, because if you're holding sticks or whatever you're doing, you know, you can grab a coffee, you can whip these on. See, trying to get a cold hand back in a glove and find the fingers when your hands are really bad, it's a nightmare. Gloves, you're just putting them straight in. Mitts, you're just straight in, and I swear by mitts. These are cheap mitts. They're waterproof within reason. They're probably under a tenner. If I lose them, I lose them. If I lost a pair of 120 quid North Face mitts, Gore-Tex, I'd be crying. So, time and place, there's a place for everything. But for everyday use in the hills, you know, on day trips, cheap mitts like that are not going to break the bank, guys. So that's the mitts. I swear by mitts, honestly. Forget gloves. They're just not for me at all. They don't suit me. Cold coffee, lovely. Hats. You'll always see me wearing hats. I have a cheap hat from, again, Decathlon. I think it was a £5. The one that I wear most of the time, my black woolly one. I can't fault it. It's a great warm hat. You know, it comes down nice, covers ears. If I lose it, I've lost a £5. When I go in there, I buy 2 at a time. I throw them here and there in a bag, throw them here. Or you could spend 30 odd quid and buy a branded Montaigne beanie, which is super warm. Again, right, it's got a place. In extreme days, I will put it on. But again, it's 35 quid at a time, you know, and not everybody's got the money. And, you know, I certainly don't like throwing money away these days. It's been too hard to earn and keep. I have another hat here, and this is a 30 quid hat. It's a low alpine, and it's the kind of, you know, it kind of, just take that off. It comes on, and it comes down over your ears, You know, it's got the little sun visor if you need it. It's got the wire in it, and it's a very, very warm hat. It's super fitted to your head. You get them in XL, L, medium, small, and you get them super fitted. They won't come off in a big wind. You'll never lose it in a big wind. And again, very, very warm and really, really good for extreme conditions. That's why I've always got 2 or 3 different hats, because there is a place for it. And you know, keep a secondary hat with you. You don't want to be up there and lose a hat and have exposed face and head and ears, because it destroys your day. Cutlery for everyday use, Decathlon, cheap plastic. If you lose them, you lose them. Myself, I carry a spork or a racing spoon, and they're titanium and they're long. Now, the reason is, you get them online for a tenner, right? They're a lot longer because they fit down inside the ration bags, and you get all the bits out the corners instead of digging your fingers in, and so they're about 2 inches longer than anything else. And I'll always have a racing spoon on me for everything, and they're titanium, so they'll last forever. You know, they're what I would call a Gucci bit of kit. I swear by things like that. I've always used stuff like that, and I just, you know, you buy it once, put it in a little lanyard, attach it somewhere, it goes straight back in the same place every time. Keep it on you, keep it on your person. Don't stick it in the bottom of a bag, that's silly, because then you have to find it. Keep it exactly where you need it, to hand. Keep it in your map pocket. So that's that. Everyday little basics. I'm hypoglycemic, so Dextro Energy, I think they were 45 pence in Tesco. Couple of packets every hour, 1 or 2. I have a gel sachet, like the cycling gel sachets. I've got a couple there, and I've always got around me honey. Put a bit in my coffee and stuff in the morning, in with my porridge. And if I'm anywhere where I'm getting some takeaway food or that, I always grab the UHT milk sachets and the Bonnie jams. See the jams? Grab them, right, in the sugar sachets, especially the plastic ones, because they last for ages. Stick them in your day sack and they're really handy to have. Sometimes you just, a little scoosh of honey, you know, you don't want to be carrying bottles of milk if you like tea and coffee up in the house. So these little sachets are brilliant, plus they're free. I don't take too many, I don't take the piss, I never take the piss, I just take what I need. I carry a secondary head torch, guys. I know I've got one on, right, and you know, again, Decathlon, a £5, brilliant. But this is a little silver. It's super bright, it takes little disc batteries. It weighs absolutely nothing, can fit it in the palm of my hand. And that goes in my little emergency bag. I've always got a second head torch, because if I get caught out and I'm going up or coming down in the dark, don't get caught out. It's as simple as that. People coming down in the dark get seriously injured. Knocked unconscious. If you're yourself and you're knocked unconscious in the cold, you've got serious problems. So yeah, you know, 20 quid, brilliant. What else have I got here? Let me see. Yeah, a little flask if you're just nipping up for the day. £6-7 out of Asda or Tesco. You know, the little pop top. You'll get, stick 2 latte sachets in it or something like that, you know. Scoop of honey. You've got 2 hot drinks there ready to go. Couple hours apart just to heat you. That little thing there, I've met guys up in hills, I've met them coming off, they've been struggling. I've gave them a coffee when I've bumped into them and they've been like, oh, I love you, I've just won a lottery, you know, because it just, you know what heat's like when you're freezing? When you find a little bit of body heat, things like that can get somebody's morale straight up, get them back to their vehicle, get them back to their tent and just save the day. I've also got a good flask, a really good quality thermos. They're about 25 quid, but you buy it once, it'll last you an absolute lifetime. You can't break them, they're indestructible. That'll keep water warm for 30 hours. Simple as that. So, you know, that's the kind of basics, guys. And I don't really go up the hills without a packet of chocolate hobnobs. I swear by chocolate hobnobs, they're brilliant, and Farm Foods do 2 of them for like £1.50, which is crazy. I think my big mate, Big Stevie O'Neill, loves them as well, Stevie. Big Stevie's got a YouTube channel, it's called Out in Boots. Shout out to Stevie. Big man inspired me to get myself in gear again. So there you go, hobnobs, can't beat them. Well, I think that's about 20 minutes on the money there. So again, I'm just showing you the basics. A little folding pocket knife. Now, it is a lock knife, and technically under Scots law they're illegal, but the knife, I'm not going to go into this, and don't quote me on it, this is my own personal choice. I carry it because it's got great downward force for cutting. Should I ever need to cut myself out of a day sack, if I'm jammed in a quarry or something and I fell in a crevasse, and you know, anything could happen, and you just need to cut the straps and leave it there and get out. I know where that is on me at all times. It's right here in my bum bag in my stomach. Cut, straps cut, and I'm out. And you're not breaking the law having that in a mountain, because let's be honest, right, the only people that break the law are guys taking these into pubs and clubs, okay? They've got no place there, but they've certainly got a place out here. So when it's justified, it's absolutely fine to have. If you don't want it, you can get an EDC, which is a legal carry knife, which is under 3 inches. It's a small blade, but they're not allowed to lock. And the problem with that is cut fingers. You can go in wrong, have a little lapse of concentration, and the blade can fold on you, and it can cut you through to the bone, slice your finger, cut an artery, and you've got a problem. And if you're out and you've got 6-7 hours to get back and you're bleeding really, really badly, well, you know, you don't want that. So I carry a locking knife always out here, always. So that's it, guys. That's kind of the basics. You know, that's kind of everyday stuff. Socks, boots, boxers for the guys, maybe good merino cycling shorts or something for the girls, you know. But keep these areas dry, keep the feet clean, keep them dry. At night time, before you go in your sleeping bag, get in between your toes, clean them with a wipe, maybe a little bit of talc, and powder your feet. Shake it all off. Don't have a build up of talc between your toes or anywhere else, because it becomes like putty and clay, and then it actually ends up wet and it becomes counterproductive. So a good foot routine is important. And if you're out all day, there's nothing wrong with stopping through a day and whipping your socks, you know, changing your socks over. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I personally don't have to, because I know exactly what my socks are doing and my feet are doing. But if I ended up going through a river or something and taking water on, yeah, I would do it. But I've walked all day in wet feet. As long as when you get back, you get, while the kettle's on, you get your feet admin sorted, and the groin area, you know, under the arms, that kind of stuff. So that's that, guys. That is the basics of my kit. Don't spend fortunes. You know, if my boots were an investment. I have a good quality down jacket. But, you know, these are 200 odd quid. But if you look in the right places, you'll get them half price at times of the year. And they then become the same price as like the ones out of Decathlon. But when it's branded mountain equipment, the down is really, really high quality, as are the materials. The zips are really high quality. So you don't expect a jacket like this to fail. No jacket in that kind of price bracket should ever fail. And even when they're wet, a down jacket with proper down will keep you warm. So that's my kit. And well, there's a car, that's unusual up here. Climbers. So there you go, guys. Yep. Oh, last but not least, nearly forgot, a little battery pack and just a little mini cable. Just a little cheap battery for charging your phone, little power pack. You get them everywhere, petrol stations, you get them online. They're peanuts nowadays, the technology, and you'll get a full charge out it. Some of them you'll even get a couple of charges out, and that's important. I'm going to finish up now because I've got stuff to get ready for the morning. One more tip, and just before I go, if you're ever worried about letting people know where you're going, right, don't change your mind after telling people where you're going if it's something you do. I don't really tell anybody where I'm going, which I don't recommend. What you can do is you can leave something in your vehicle in the dash with your location and your approximate time back. Or what you can do is, see your voice note when somebody phones you and it goes to your voice thing. You can say, hi, it's me, I'm climbing this and I should be back by this point. And then they know where you are. There's a little tip for you. Something as simple as that could help you out and if you're ever really stuck and something happens. But let's not worry about that. So there you go, that's my basics for now. And I'll get another tip, I'll get another bits and bobs in my kit. I'll go a little bit more into depth with other stuff like map reading and, you know, maps, compasses, tents. I'll go down the line, but no rush it. This is just the basics, guys. This is your day out. It's what you need. Get your boots sorted, get good advice on them, try on as many pairs as you can in the store and get the socks sorted. Then worry about your merino layers underneath and have a wee layering system. Don't go out with big heavy gear on, okay? Any questions, hit me up in the comments. Thank you very much. I'll get back to you. Cheers. Thanks.